Okay, what if I told you that someone paid for two RTX 3080s and got upgraded to 3090s by mistake? Also, AMD just dropped a driver update that turns the 9070 XT into an even better card. Sparkle's building a dual GPU ARC card with 48 gigs of VRAM for someone. And gamers everywhere are giving 8GB GPUs the middle finger. There's chaos, free performance, and a whole lot of market slaps this week. You know the drill. Let's get into it. All right, this is the kind of mistake that makes you believe in GPU karma. We've had so many scams going on with new graphics cards, Micro Center, things being in the wrong box. Zotac had a few issues with rice in the box and things like it's crazy, especially stuff coming from eBay and Amazon. But someone got a little lucky. Check this out. This Reddit post comes from Emu Are Extinct. He says he bought two RTX 3080s on eBay. What did he get? Two 3090s instead. Now, this wasn't perfect. He paid for two Dell OEM RTX 3080s, which is already, a low price for that. He did a great job on that, even if they were 3080s. But he discovered something. He took a look at these cards and he said, wait a second.
Who are you?
What's this for? This is an SLI connector. Those were, in the 30 series, those were only on the 3090s. Starts to dig into it, figures out, hey, guess what? I ended up getting 3090s instead of 3080s. So 24 gigs of VRAM on these cards, and you can go full SLI if you really want to put yourself through that. It's kind of crazy. Now, these Dell OEM cards, they sometimes lack branding. So good deals exist on these, but you better know what you're looking at. Now, this didn't come without some issues as well. This user says both had bent back plates and run a little toasty in the upper 70s, but passed a quick test in 3D Mark x5. What did he do? What any good nerd would do with a great deal on a card, especially when you find out you have 3090s. He bent the back plate back, applied some new thermal paste, and guess what? They're both working great. This is awesome. This truly is GPU karma. We'd love to see this. What a deal. So $650 for two 3080s. Already pretty damn good deal. Turns out they're 3090s. Great job, man. This is fantastic. I mean, imagine hitting buy now and then accidentally winning the Silicon Lottery. Have you guys ever bought something and been like, oh my gosh, I got a way better deal than I thought I was gonna get? Let me know if you have some experience with this in the comments down below. Today's video is brought to you by Meta PCs. Now, quick disclaimer, Meta PCs is my company, so I want to be fully transparent before we dive in. Now, let's talk about the Pathfinder, but wait, it's missing a graphics card. We'll get into that. This is our clean, high-performance desktop that's perfect for people who already own a GPU, but you want to refresh the rest of your system without the hassle. Maybe your current setup's a spaghetti mess, maybe it's running hot, or maybe you're just ready for an upgrade without breaking the bank. The Pathfinder is available in both black or white. It's featuring a sleek, minimalist case and tempered side glass panels to show off your clean internals. Inside, you get an AMD Ryzen 7 7800X 3D, 64 gigs of DDR5 Kingston memory, a 2TB Kingston Gen 4 NVMe drive, and most importantly, meticulously clean cable management and cooling handled by our team of US-based builders. We intentionally leave the GPU slot open so you can drop in your own card and get rolling. There's no rebuilding, no headaches. It's just plug and play. And if you want a fully built system, no worries. We've got tons of ready-to-ship systems in stock too. Just hit the link in the description to check those out. As always, our builds come with a lifetime support guarantee from real humans based here in the US. So whether you're upgrading or going all in on a new build, we've got your back. That's the Pathfinder. It's available now in black or white at metapcs.com. Check it out in the description. And now back to the news. AMD just dropped a driver that boosts the Radeon 9070 XT by 27%. Now that's not a patch. That's a comeback arc. Let's take a look. Yeah, AMD basically speed ran the awesome card arc for the 9070 XT with one driver. Check this out. AMD's latest drivers improve Radeon RX 9070 XT's performance by up to 27%, which, guess what that means? The RTX 5070 Ti is now slower overall. Now, all credit goes to Hardware Unboxed for this. He did an analysis that shows that the 9070 XT improved by 9% at 1440p and 4% at 4K, thanks to this new Adrenalin driver. Man, if you have an AMD card, update your drivers. This is fantastic news, especially if you've got an RDNA 4 GPU. And there were even some games that we're seeing as high as that 27% boost. I'm going to get into that in a second. The launch GPU driver for the RDNA 4 GPU seems to have throttled their performance. As AMD rolls out its latest GPU Adrenalin driver, the tables have turned, and now, guess what? The 9070 XT is leading the charts when compared to its closest competitor from NVIDIA. Theoretically, the 9070 XT is $150 cheaper than the 5070 Ti, but when it comes to real-world pricing, who knows what you're going to get? It's the Wild West out there. You know what MSRP stands for? Mostly speculative retail pricing, especially this year. It means nothing. All right, but keeping the prices aside, we now have the Radeon 9070 XT beat the GeForce 5070 Ti by a good 3% margin, as shown by Hardware Unboxed. Initially, the GPU came out 2.5% slower than the 5070 Ti with those launch drivers, but it seems like it's gained a lot of prowess, achieving double-digit gains in multiple titles. Let's check it out. So this is that 27% that I'm talking about here. Spider-Man Remastered, 27% difference. Counter-Strike 2, 23, Hogwarts Legacy, Delta Force, Call of Duty, all of these games starting to see some great increases thanks to optimization for DirectX 12 titles, is what it kind of seems like based on this chart. Real world tip for you guys, keep your drivers updated, especially on these newer AMD cards. They've been, shipping performance fixes post-launch, and that is really awesome. We love to see that. While in some games, the gains are a little negligible, the majority of games still saw a decent jump compared to the last time. The 9070 XT, which was easily beaten by the 5070 Ti in titles like Starfield, Delta Force, and CS2, has now successfully either closed the gap or even beaten the latter by up to a 10% margin. Delta Force, for example, at 9070 XT, 14% faster. CS2 Spider-Man Remastered, as high as 23 and 27% respectively. Some insane gains. And to be clear, this isn't overclocking. This is just a driver update. You click one button and you get a free GPU refresh. That's kind of cool. Now, obviously, you guys already know what I'm going to say. Ray tracing. Here, let's go. NVIDIA still holds the advantage in ray tracing and AI workloads and things like that. But in terms of raw power on this thing, AMD making some solid improvements with this driver update. If you got an RDNA 4 card, update your drivers. Get it done. Sparkle is making a dual GPU ARC card with 48 gigabytes of VRAM. For what purpose? Who knows? But it's happening. Let's check it out. Now, I'm sort of kidding on who is this for. Obviously, it's a workstation card. So it's going to be used for all of those people that want to do, it's a workstation market. It's not gamers. AI, inference, things like that. Scientific visualization, all the cool stuff like that. Multi-display, signage, high-end encoding, all that good stuff. So if you're into that, this is actually some really interesting news. Now, I'm going to talk about this dual GPU thing in a second here, but first, let's break down what's going on with this card. And it's not just one card, you're getting three, baby. Sparkle announces Arc Pro B60 passive and blower GPUs, confirms that dual GPU version with the 48 gigs of VRAM, 300 watt TBP. The company shared the first details about its Arc Pro B60 graphics cards, 3 models. So you get 24 gigabyte version, blower style, 24 gig passive cooled model, and 48 gig dual GPU card with a blower style cooler. Check this out. Now, they're not first to the race on this. Max Sun had confirmed a dual GPU version of the B60, so Sparkle would be the second known design. Unlike most dual GPU cards, these are not intended for gaming. Obviously, this isn't SLI when we talk about dual GPU. It's for mostly parallel compute workloads, not gaming. So if you're not sure what to use this for, you probably don't need it. All right, so let's dig into it. The Arc B60 offers 24 gigs of GDDR6 per GPU, so the dual GPU comes with 48 gigs total. It's important to note that the memory bandwidth should not be summoned across both GPUs, as it doesn't split render tasks between those two cores. Instead, the Arc Pro dual GPU cards place 2 GPUs on a single PCB, sharing 8 lanes on a single PCIe interface. These are basically 2 cards on a single PCB. We don't have full specs yet, but we do know a little something about the power. We're going to have a 300 watt TBP. For comparison, Max Sun's dual GPU model is listed at 400. The B60, on the other hand, has a TBP of 200 watts. And obviously on passive cooled model, that's going to be available in workstations. I don't think that's going to be something for do-it-yourself market necessarily. Even ASRock is preparing to offer the passive B60 exclusively to business customers. So that answers the question there. What do you think about this? Do you have a use for these Arc business class Pro cards? Let me know down below. 8 gigabyte graphics cards are getting ratioed at retail. Buyers are overwhelmingly choosing 16 gig models, and the data is brutal. Let's check it out. So Mind Factory shared some data on their sales of these 8 gigabyte versus 16 gigabyte cards, specifically the 5060 Ti, the 9060 XT. And I'm not totally shocked at what they found out. GeForce RTX 5060 Ti and Radeon RX 9060 XT 16 gigabyte heavily outsell the 8 gig model based on Mind Factory data. This is a German retailer who decided to share a little bit of sales data so that we could understand how things are going sales-wise and get a little under the hood peek. Well, check this out. This German retailer paints a very clear picture. Users overwhelmingly prefer the 16 gig version of the latest GPUs from NVIDIA and AMD. Both the RX 9060 XT and the 5060 Ti are the perfect choice for this type of comparison because, you guessed it, they both have 16 and 8 gigabyte versions of the card, and they were released at the same time. As for the data, speaks for itself. Let's dive into it. So this data is as of July July 2nd from Mind Factory. The 5060 Ti 16 gigabyte model sold 1,675 units compared to the 8 gigabyte cards, 110. Well, let's take a look at AMD. We'll see if anything's different over there. The Radeon RX 9060 XT 16 gig models, 885 units. 8 gig models, 30. And this really makes a lot of sense when you look at real world examples. You have Last of Us, Starfield, Hogwarts Legacy. Those have shown stutter and crashing issues at 1080p with that 8 gigabytes of VRAM. Those bottlenecks show up not in benchmarks most of the time, but actual gameplay. So like asset loading lag, streaming textures, things like that. So your VRAM's going to impact things like the frame pacing and frame time stability, not just your max FPS. Are we really surprised about this? Is anyone shocked? Is this story breaking news to anyone? Why are we even talking about it? Well, one, it's kind of fun that a retailer actually shared some sales data so that we can really take a peek into what we think's going on or what we know is going on in the market. And it paints a picture that I think everyone kind of already knew, but to see the data actually come out just adds some reinforcement to that thought that gamers aren't really big on these 8 gigabyte cards. And this kind of goes back to this tweet from AMD's Frank Azor, and he said back in May, when a lot of people were really getting upset about these 8 gig cards saying, why are we doing this? He said the majority of gamers are still playing at 1080p and have no use for more than 8 gigs of memory. Most played games worldwide are mostly esports games. We wouldn't build it if there wasn't a market for it. If 8 gigabytes isn't right for you, then there's 16 gigs. Same GPU, no compromise, just memory. Now, the biggest part of this, obviously you have options and you can choose to go with an 8 or 16 gigabyte card, but a lot of it is also buyers understanding what they're getting. People that aren't living on videos like this every day or in the tech hardware world, PC hardware world, may not know to check the exact model before buying or building. You know, you should probably avoid 8 gigabytes unless you're doing strictly 1080p esports. There's some confusion there on both sides, NVIDIA and AMD. I think probably the worst part of this, or what could be improved in the future, is they give both models the same name. So it really could be VRAM roulette for buyers that don't really know what they're looking at. This comment actually calls out Frank's tweet here on the article. Meanwhile, at AMD, we wouldn't make it if there wasn't a market for it. Well, see, there's a market, 30 units. That's a farmer's market. All right, another comment. Just imagine if AMD only made the 16 gig model, heavily advertised the absurdity of the 8 gig cards, and priced it at $320. The ratio would probably be much closer to 50%. And this is just what everybody is thinking, this comment. People voted with their wallets, and that's exactly how it should be. Hopefully this was the last generation where NVIDIA and AMD tried to sell $300 plus 8 gigabyte GPUs. I doubt it. All right, guys, weigh in down below on these 8 gigabyte cards, because a lot of people in the comments have said, no, there is a use for it. This does make sense. Really, for me, my personal opinion, it really just comes down to price. If we're talking about a budget card, can we make them a budget price? That's, I think, maybe the biggest feedback that I'd have there, in addition to the naming scheme maybe being tweaked a little bit. Let me know what you guys think down below. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button if you like videos like these and you want to keep up on it. I'm releasing a ton of them every week, whether it's on shorts or long form. We're keeping you updated, so make sure you subscribe. Also, we just launched the memberships on the channel, so if you want behind the scenes footage of some wacky stuff that I do at the Meta PCs office, or behind the scenes, or just day to day, that's the place to go for that. Sign up to become a channel member today. I'll put the link in the description as well. All right, that's going to do it for today. We'll see you next time.